From I want to be skinny to I want to be super strong to I just want to be happy, healthy, and healed. If I would write a song about my fitness story, then it would be like exactly what I just said. It would be like, I want to be super skinny, then super strong, then happy, healthy, and healed. Dum dum. Let's be serious, team. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm really grateful to have you here. Thank you so much for being here, hanging out here with me. Yeah, that's the video style that I want to try today. I just want to hang out with you. I want to get comfortable and share with you my fitness story, everything that I have gone through when it comes to health and fitness in the last couple of years, in the last 10 years. I think around 10 years ago, I started my fitness journey. And by sharing all of that today, I really hope you get inspired and motivated to start your own fitness journey. But even more important, I want you to learn from all the mistakes that I've made. And I've made so many mistakes. I really hope you can learn from them. And without further ado, I would say let's jump into this video. Let's jump into chapter and then chapter and chapter. I've divided this video into 3 different chapters. So let's start with chapter 1, and I call it I Wanna Be Super Skinny. The reason why I want to call this chapter I Want to Be Super Skinny is because that was my first goal. That was the first goal that I've ever had when it comes to health and fitness. And to explain that, I have to go a few years back. I have to start with when I was a child, when I was a young child, a teenager. Like, I never had a problem with my body when I think of me as a little child or me as little Anna. I loved my body. I was so happy. I was full of energy, and I had been a normal child. I had a normal body. I wasn't underweight. I wasn't overweight. I was just normal, and I was just happy, and I didn't care what anyone else thinks of me or what they think of my body. I didn't even think of that. And I wonder when it all started that I, for the first time ever, started to struggle with my body. And I think it had been the transition from a child into a teenager or into a young woman. That was the first time ever for me that I started to struggle with my body. I noticed some changes. Like, I noticed at the age of like 12, 13, 14, 15, I noticed that my body started to change. I noticed that my breast is growing. I got a little bit more curvy, not really curvy because I really don't have a curvy body type. But to me, I just looked into the mirror and I noticed there is something changing. It was also the time when I got my period. So I was clearly turning from a child into a teenager, into a young woman. And the sad thing about it is that I struggled with it because it's such a normal thing. Growing up and growing from a child into a young woman is such a beautiful thing, and we should be grateful for it. But unfortunately, to me, this change had been really sad, and I started to look at my body in a really weird way. I remember looking into the mirror and noticing these changes and feeling super uncomfortable with it and starting to do all this research. What can I do to stop this process or to go back into this childish body? That's all I wanted. So what I figured out back then was, okay, I have to lose weight. If I want to lose my chest again, if I want to be super skinny again, then I have to lose weight. Another factor that really had a huge impact on me back then was media and the ideal body, the perfect body back then. And back then it was being super skinny. I constantly saw super skinny models. Back then, Kate Moss had been such a huge thing. Victoria's Secret had been such a huge thing. Or also here in Germany, but it was like almost everywhere around the world. I feel like Germany's Next Top Model. So all these top model TV series, they had such a huge impact on me. And it was all about being skinny and losing weight. So I was like, okay, if I want to be successful, if I want to be loved by others, if I want to be beautiful, then I also have to lose weight and I also have to be super skinny. I had a normal body, and from that normal body on, I started to lose weight. The way I did it was, first of all, exercise, diet, nutrition, restrictions. So I really tried to cut back on calories, to restrict myself, to stop eating, of course, unhealthy foods. So I started to categorize food into healthy and unhealthy foods. And I was so young. I was this young girl trying to learn and understand everything about nutrition, or teaching myself everything about nutrition in a really dangerous way. Now thinking, I wish we would have learned in school something about diet and nutrition. I really hope teachers would have told me what's healthy, what's unhealthy, what I should eat, what I shouldn't eat, what's the deal with diet and restrictions, and what do I have to be careful with. But I just learned everything by myself, and I thought the way what I learned is the right way. We had the internet, but not really. So I wasn't doing my research on the internet. It was more like magazines, books. And I remember there had been one summer, and I have this picture in my mind when I was in the garden and all these books around me. So we had a small garden at my mom's apartment, and it was all full of books and magazine articles and lots of tips on how to lose weight. And there is this diet and there is that diet, and you have to cut out carbs, you have to eat low carb or keto. So I've tried many different diets. I've tried everything that I was reading about in my garden. And it was really dangerous, because it's not that I learned the wrong things. Like, of course, what I learned, there was, I don't know, something right in it. But if you just focus on losing weight, if you just focus on, okay, this is low in calories, this is low in carbs, and you just add this information at a really young age into your brain, like, it gets really, really dangerous, because that's all you see then, and you don't have another opinion. I thought it's the right way to do. And yeah, of course, I lost weight. When it comes to my exercise routine back then, I really did a lot of cardio. I did a lot of home workouts. I just started out at home, which I think is great, is cool. And everyone here listening right now, wanting to start their own fitness journey, I would always say, start at home, try home workouts, go out for walks and runs. Like, you can exercise everywhere. You can move your body everywhere, at home, in your living room, in your garden. It's a great thing. But if you have the wrong goal in mind, if you just want to lose weight and you just want to burn calories, that's not something I'm like, yeah, go for it, do it. You have to have the right goals. Anyways, I did a lot of cardio. I tried to burn a lot of calories. That was actually the goal I had with every single workout that I did. It wasn't like I want to be able to do 10 push-ups or something. It was more like, okay, I have eaten this cottage cheese which had 200 calories. Now I'm going to burn 200 calories. I'm thinking of it right now and I'm like, that is so stupid. What did I think? But honestly, my brain was exactly like that. I was eating a certain amount of calories and then I tried to burn it a few hours later. It is so freaking stupid. But that's exactly what I did, and that's how I lost a lot of weight. And I lost that much weight that it got really dangerous and problematic, not just physically, but also mentally. And if there's one girl listening right now and it's kind of in the same situation that I had been, trying to lose weight, trying to change their body, then I hope I can open your eyes right now and tell you that this is not cool. This is not a good goal. You shouldn't have that goal. And maybe you can sit down right now and rewrite your goal and think about it. That's all I want to do here with this video. By losing a lot of weight, you suffer physically. You don't have energy. You have crazy mood changes. It's really hard to describe, but I remember I just haven't had any energy sometimes. I also lost my period, and now when I think back then when I lost my period, I thought it isn't a big deal. Actually, I thought it's quite cool that I'm losing my period, because all the other girls, they had all these struggles when we had been out, or we had been on vacation, or I don't know, like we spent a weekend together, and they told me about their struggles of being on their period, and it's so annoying. They have these cramps, and it's just so annoying when you have to think about it all the time. I haven't had that. So I was like, oh, that's really cool. That's so convenient. I don't have to deal with all these problems and all these struggles. But now at the age of 28, I'm like, what did just happen? Like, I was so stupid. It is so important for every single girl, for every single woman, to have a regular and normal and healthy period. Today, I also see it kind of like a cleaning process. So when I get my period, first of all, I call my mom. I call one of my closest friends who also struggled with the same problem. And then I'm like, I got my period. I'm super excited about it. I'm super happy about it, because it feels like, first of all, I feel like I'm cleaning, like everything gets out of me that shouldn't be there. So it kind of feels like a cleaning process. And it also makes me feel just so healthy, and I feel like a woman, and I feel so feminine. So if you feel very weak, very low in energy all the time, and if you notice you can't focus anymore, maybe for school, maybe in other areas of life, then you kind of realize that something bad is going on, something wrong is going on. And I realized that, over time, many people ask me if I had like one moment or one day where I was like, okay, I have to change my whole life. But I haven't had that moment, like not really, because it was a slow process. It was this process of every single day feeling sore and fatigued and weak. I remember right now, I had a boyfriend back then. So my ex-boyfriend now, we had been in a relationship when I started to lose more and more and more weight. And I also noticed how uncomfortable I felt in my body. Now when I think back, I felt so uncomfortable. I didn't want him to touch my body anymore. You don't want to have sex anymore. It's really weird to explain, but you feel really uncomfortable in your body. You feel really ashamed. And the crazy thing is, I never felt beautiful or good enough or skinny enough. Never, even though I reached my goal that I first had. But it never brought me any kind of happiness or fulfillment. So it took me quite some time to understand I have to change my goal. I have to change my body again to maybe feel healthier and happier. It was a slow process, but I remember one day, which then was like the cherry on top, I would say. I signed up to a CrossFit class. And I remember I was going in, being super skinny, being super weak. And then I stepped in and we had this trial class. So we did a CrossFit workout together. And I remember seeing all these other girls around being super strong. And they did so many crazy things there. I remember the heavy weights they lifted and the pull-ups they did and just so many crazy things. One girl was climbing up a rope, like just with her arms. And I was like, wow, okay, that is cool. These women look so strong. They look so happy. They look so confident. I also want to have that. And that's when I started to do CrossFit. So I showed up again after this trial class. I showed up again twice a week and then 3 times a week. Then 4 times a week, then 5 times a week, and then at one point every single day. So I got really obsessed with that. And by sharing that moment right now, I think I can already reflect on that I always had been a really extreme kind of girl. I always did everything super extreme. So if I want to lose weight, I do it the extreme way. I go as low as possible with my weight. If I want to become strong and heavy, then I go the other extreme way and I push myself as hard as I can to grow as much muscle as possible, because that had been chapter 2. I want to be super strong. From the super skinny girl, I started lifting weights. I started learning pull-ups, learning dips. I started to eat more because that's what I've learned in my second era in chapter 2. If I want to become stronger, if I want to grow muscle, I have to train really, really hard. I have to lift heavy weights and I have to eat a lot of food. That's what I did. I got obsessed again. I have to be honest. I got really obsessed with this idea of becoming that super strong woman. I also started my social media channels back then, and I've shared this whole transformation from being super skinny to super strong. I started to share how I train. I started to share what I eat. And I think it had been super inspirational for many, many people because they saw me changing. They saw my body changing and they saw how freaking strong I got, because I got really strong. I mean, no wonder. I was training so much. I finished school. I went to my workout CrossFit class. I went to training. And then I already started to work back then in a software company. And I remember after every single work shift that I had, I just went to my CrossFit gym and did my workouts. And then it got even crazier because then I started to train twice a day. So I did one workout before I started my work and then I did another after. And it got like a really intense lifestyle. It got really crazy until to a point where I just couldn't work anymore. Like I had no time for work, as stupid as it sounds. I cut back my work from 40 hours work week to a 20-hour work week. But in addition, started to work as a CrossFit coach because I needed money. So I was so focused on that CrossFit thing that I decided to quit my job and became a full-time CrossFit coach. And then I was just in this CrossFit box, in this CrossFit gym, the whole freaking day. I trained twice a day. I was eating tons of food. I followed other kind of diet plans, so I was still into the diet mindset, but now my goal wasn't to lose weight with this diet plan. It was to gain weight in the cleanest way as possible. I didn't want to gain fat. Like, I was afraid of that. I was scared of that, but I wanted to gain muscle. I don't know if you've ever seen these professional CrossFit athletes. The girls, the women, they are crazy strong. And I wanted to be one of them. I really tried to be one of them. I tried to become that strong that I can compete and maybe one day win a competition. That was my dream. That was my goal. And I did everything that I could. And in a really short amount of time, I would say, in just a few years, I became really strong. I was able to lift so much weight. I have no idea how I did that. Right now, when I look at these old videos and when I see myself lifting so much heavy weight, I'm like, oh my God, how did I do that? Now I'm not even close to be able to lift that much weight, but I also don't want anymore. But I'm still like, wow, I trained so hard and I was eating so much food and I really tried so hard in this short amount of time. The biggest mistake that I made in this phase from super skinny to super strong was I did not at all listen to my body. I was just pushing. I was pushing so hard, and I tried so hard. I did not listen at all to my body. I didn't listen, and my body was giving me a lot of signs. I still haven't had my period, even though I gained a lot of weight, and this to me also shows your period, because so many people say if you are skinny, if you don't have enough weight, then you lose your period, which yes, it can be one of the factors, but I've had been my heaviest when I did CrossFit, but I've been at my heaviest and I still haven't had my period because I was stressing myself out. I was stressing my body out by lifting so much heavy weight, by pushing myself so hard. I've never had a rest day. Do you know what I did on a rest day? I have no words. Like, I just remember on a rest day on a Sunday, I went for a 40-minute run, then I went for a 40-minute bike ride, and then I did a 40-minute swim. This is not a rest day. This is not even close to a rest day. Every single day I did that, and my body was giving me all these signs. I haven't had any energy except when I did my workouts, and I was full on caffeine and like pre-workouts to push through my workout sessions. I had a lot of injuries. I couldn't lift my right arm up because I had so much pain in my right shoulder. I did squats with like so much weight on my back, and my legs, they were hurting so bad. And of course, it had to happen. Like, I had this really crazy injury at one point. I did a back squat, and in the lowest position of the back squat, I remember my knee, it was like cracking in, and I ignored the pain first because maybe first I was just so in shock, but I tried to ignore it. And I remember this workout session when I tried to keep going. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to remove a little bit of weight. And then I keep squatting, like so stupid. I tried to ignore the pain. I tried to ignore all the signals that my body gave me and that life gave me, but I ignored them. But it got worse. It got to a point where I just couldn't walk anymore. And then I had a surgery. I had been in hospital. It took a long time to recover. And the crazy thing about this injury is that forced me to stop training for a couple of months. And this had been a really low moment. I think this had been the lowest moment that I've had when I think back of my whole fitness journey, my whole fitness story. This surgery really killed me. It was a really dark place, and I could have avoided this surgery, this injury, by just listening to my body. One of the biggest learnings from this whole weight gain journey and muscle gain and strength gain journey, you have to work hard if that is your goal, if you want to grow muscle, if you want to grow strength, but you have to rest hard as well. You have to allow yourself to rest. Your body needs rest, and you really long term can just grow if you also allow yourself to rest. Actually, I reached that goal that I had. I want to be super strong, and I was proud of myself. Like, I want to be honest, I was proud of everything, but looking into the mirror, I wasn't really happy. I was struggling as well. I was struggling the exact same that I always struggled with. I was just not happy. I was just not comfortable in my body. I did not accept my body. And then I finally reached my goal, but then I'm still like looking into the mirror and I'm like, wow, that's not me. For me, for myself, for my own personal preference, I got really big. I got like really heavy. I had been the heaviest that I've ever been. And I saw a few videos of myself where I was walking and someone filmed from behind, and I was walking like so strong. And it's not that there's something wrong with it. Absolutely not. And I look up to every single strong woman. And the cool thing is that there are strong women out there with a lot of muscle mass, with really like muscly arms and strong legs. And they're still super feminine. They're still beautiful women. But to me, it wasn't me. It wasn't my body. It was not for me. And that's why I've decided again to change. So from chapter 2, from I want to be super strong, we finally made it to chapter 3, which is, I would say, me today. I'm 28 years old now. I'm in this chapter 3. I'm in this era since a few years. I would say since I started my other YouTube channel, Growing Ananas, when I started doing home workouts, and I actually got forced to do home workouts. We all got forced to work out at home with COVID, with a lockdown. They closed all gyms, so they also closed my CrossFit gym. I wasn't able to do CrossFit anymore, and I was forced to train at home. And first, at home, I also tried to keep going. I tried to train really, really heavy. I had all the equipment at home, so I got everything at home. I had a barbell, I had a squat rack, like I had the whole gym equipment. I still have it at home, but I just don't use it anymore. But I tried to keep going. I tried to push through, but it didn't really fulfill me. And slowly I stepped away from lifting weights. Slowly I started to do more HIIT workouts, body weight workouts, and that's still what I do right now. I'm still absolute fan of home workouts. I love to train with my own body weight. I love cardio. I love Pilates. I love just stretching on some days. I love walking. I love walks. If you have seen other videos here on this channel, I talk about walking so much because I love it. And when I think back now in my CrossFit era, chapter 2, then Anna would be like, why the fuck do you go on a walk? That's for nothing. And now I'm like, it is such a beautiful thing for your physical but also mental health. So my focus and my goal really has shifted again. Chapter 3 is, I just want to be happy, healthy, and healed. That is my goal right now. And my exercise routine at the moment, it's a lot of home workouts. As I said before, it's walking. I go to different kind of workout classes because it's so cool to meet new people. It's cool to get inspired for my own workouts that I film here for YouTube. My exercise routine is it's not as strict anymore. And if I travel, and I travel a lot, and that mixes up my workout routine, that's fine and okay too. I roughly stick to a home workout plan. It's kind of like the one I share on my Grow with Anna app, or also here on my YouTube channels. So I try to stick to like cardio and upper body, lower body, stretching. But if there is a lower body day on a Tuesday, but I want to go to a workout class with a friend, then that's also totally fine, and that's also totally okay. So what I want to say with that is, I'm not as strict anymore, and I'm not stressing about the tiny little things. It doesn't matter. I just want to move my body, and I want to feel good about it. And when it comes to diet and nutrition, I don't even want to use the word diet anymore, because I'm not on a diet. And my whole approach to fitness and health, like it's not about a diet anymore. It's about a lifestyle. It's about something that I want to do for the rest of my life. And I want to be happy when I'm eating for the rest of my life. I want to eat with friends. I want to eat whatever I want to eat, something that makes me feel good. That is also important to mention, because by saying that I want to eat whatever I want to eat, it's not that I want to eat a burger every single day or a pizza every single day. I want to eat healthy in a way of colorful, a lot of fruits and vegetables, and making sure there's enough protein, because it makes me feel my best. That's why I want to eat it. But there is also enough room for ice cream, and there is enough room for having a glass of wine or going to an event or a party and getting drunk. Maybe maybe that happens once a year, and that is totally fine, and that is totally okay. That's how I think right now. It feels so easy. It feels like I want to go to a workout class, I do it. I want to do a home workout, I do it. Every single day I wake up and I'm kind of listening to my body, and my body tells me how much energy I have today, if I should do a HIIT workout or a low impact workout. My body tells me, and then I just listen and I just do it. And it really makes me feel my happiest, my healthiest, and the most healed version that I've ever been. The thing is, I've just started this chapter a few years ago, and I'm still in it. And I think I still make a lot of mistakes. And in a few years, I will look back and I will be like, what did I do here? What did I say here? But right now, this is what truly makes me feel really good, really my healthiest and happiest. And by sharing that, I hope this also inspires you to right now think about your workout goal. What is something that you want to work on right now for the next couple of years? Do you also want to adapt this more balanced approach into your life? I hope you got inspired to take the next steps to become the healthiest and happiest version of yourself. And now, thank you so much for watching today, for listening today. Thank you. That is my fitness story. That is my fitness journey. Crazy when I think about it. But yeah, thanks for listening, guys. And see you soon. Wait, we need our Team Grow hug. Thank you so much. I love you, team. Big hugs. Bye.